students, now we are continuing with the C++ series. Now, as we discussed in the earlier classes, you can access any object by creating an object from a class. So, as we discussed, so let's say we have a class student in which whatever, as I said, whatever you write within this are the private property of this class. So now another function called main, which is a second family which wants to use the content of the public part into this, and these private parts are all available only within these two braces. All these things we discussed. Now, had I got an integer age here, and now I wanted to create a function here, void display age. Now I can write here cout, print out, my age is age. I could say this is a function which I created inside the class. Now if I want to call this into the main, first what I do is I create an object of student by saying student obj. After that I can always call obj dot display age, like this. You know this. Now if I want to also call the same display age through a pointer to object, that is another concept. How do we do that? So what I do, I create a pointer to object. That means I call it star ptr. That means ptr is pointing somewhere. The type of this is actually student, and where it is going to point? Ptr is equal to ampersand, address of obj. Okay. Now once after doing this, if I want to call the same function display age, now I will call it like this, ptr arrow mark, then display age. This is how I call this. So that means the obj has been initialized with the ptr of type student, and whatever was available in the obj, it will be displayed. So content of this, both will be same. The one is directly accessing by creating an object. This is accessing through a pointer. Now let's practically see how this programming is done. So it is like this. Let us create a small program in which I already typed in. These two lines are always required, as I said. Then this is a class student and this is a private age is there, and I have typed in exactly like what I explained. There is a display age. So what I am going to do is I am going to create student a obj, and I am displaying that age here. Now since age is not initialized with anything, it will display 0. Now another way of doing is you create a pointer to an object. So you are first creating a student start ptr. That means you are creating a pointer which is a pointer pointing to a type of the class called student, and the pointer is initialized with the obj, first address of the obj. That means it is pointing to this particular object. Then you can, instead of now dot, whenever you use pointer arrow mark display age will display the output. So theoretically speaking or understanding wise, whatever I explained, these two should give the same output. Let us see whether that works. You can see that age is equal to 0, age is equal to 0. Age is equal to 0, first age is equal to 0 came from this line, and second age is equal to 0 came from this line. Both are same. Okay, see you in the next class.